Hey everybody, welcome back to Word from our sponsor. My name is David Dietrich. I am your host. As always, our sponsor is God. He's the sponsor of this show. He's also the sponsor of your life. Whether you know that or not, God has sponsored your life. He wants the best for you. He has a word for you today about your tongue. We're going to jump into James chapter 3. James chapter 3, starting in verse 1, says, "Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers. For you know that he who teaches will be judged with greater strictness. For we all stumble in many ways, and if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle his whole body. If we put bits into the mouths of horses, so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. Look at the ship also. Though they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are guided by a very small rudder, wherever the will of the pilot directs. So also the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things. How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire. And the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. For every kind of beast and bird or reptile and sea creature can be tamed, and has been tamed by mankind. But no human can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not be so. Does a spring pour forth from the same opening both fresh and salt water? Can a fig tree, my brothers, bear olives, or a grapevine produce figs? Neither can a salt pond yield fresh water." There are a couple of really cool things in this passage in regards to the tongue. And this is a passage, the whole book of James is very valuable in kind of self-assessing and pushing forward. The things that the tongue is related to here, as you think about your speech, you think about what comes out of your mouth, and often we just speak without thinking, just goes from thought to tongue and out into the world. And it talks about the tongue being like a bit in a horse's mouth, or a rudder on a ship, a spark that would start a fire, and poison that can have ramifications as it goes out into the world. And these are all kind of in the thought of what we say may seem very small, but it's very potent. And we have to remember that as Christians, that our words are very important because of their potency, because those words are how we communicate with people. And there is a reality in what we say and how we judge others, how we value others, how we encourage or discourage others. The things that we focus on in our talk. If we're just hanging out and saying, how was your day? And talking about what filled our day. And it's just kind of pointless nonsense stuff versus being very pointed in our discussions and talking about things that are drawing us back closer to Christ, drawing us to the truth, encouraging us to pursue righteousness and live out our calling. So our words affect our lives. And this is a point that James is trying to make, of course, through this, that we need to take that into account. And hopefully just that reminder is an encouragement to you today. A fleeting word can have ramifications. We see that in our culture all over the place.
It's a virus, I get it, I respect it, but at the same time, even if everybody gets it, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but inevitable? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now.
Hey guys, so yesterday I did an Instagram live and I realized today that some of my comments are being taken out of context. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time, and I am at home and in lockdown, and that's what I hope you guys are doing too, in full quarantine and staying safe and sane. I don't take this situation lightly by any means. I am home.
But more importantly, and the thing that I want to leave us with today, is this end section where James is talking about that from your mouth comes curse to people and praise to God and our Father. And this is something that I know that I can say I need to work on. I need to continue to work on. I need to constantly remind myself that as I look at the evils going on in the world, as I look at the injustices, the lies, the betrayal, as I see people propagating these things, I have to remember that I cannot allow my disdain, my judgment, my righteous anger over the lies and the danger that people are propagating to influence the heart that I have towards them. I should not be cursing people in that way. I can always speak light. I can see someone who is even a murderer or pedophile or something in that case and say, this is wrong, what you are doing is wrong, it needs to be taken care of swiftly, justly, and with purpose, and yet still have hope that the power of redemption, that God could reach this person, that they still, despite the sin and the pain that they are propagating and putting onto other people, that they are still image bearers of God, and that cannot be taken away from them. This is, I think, just such a tension that we need to wrestle with as Christians. And I think that what I take from it, and I hope that you'll be encouraged by, is that even when I am frustrated with the things going on around me, I have to speak hope and life into them. I need to acknowledge them. I need to call them for what they are. To love and to be bold for Christ is to speak the truth, but also in love. So I cannot lose that. But nor can I lose the love part. I need to speak the truth, but I need to never give up that this is an image bearer of God. And I don't want to curse them specifically. I want to call out the ideas. I want to go against that. And I want to provide alternative to the lies that they are propagating. And this happens in our political, our entertainment, our education, all of the structures of our society. So I'm very politically active, I'm very locally active, I'm very ministry active. These are things that are very important to me, and I want to be aware of the things that are going on in the world, and I encourage you to be aware of those things as well. But I want to constantly be reminded that the words that I speak should point people towards hope and truth, even when I am rebuking what they're doing. It is not enough for me to say, that's evil, you shouldn't do that. I need to focus on adding the why. Why is that evil? Where do you need to turn to? There's the best example that I can think of this is a friend of mine who's a police officer and is constantly sharing hope with criminals that he just handcuffed and forced into handcuffs. And, you know, I'm not going to say who it is or anything like that. You know who you are if you're watching this. But that is a great example of keeping that balance of enforcing the law, but giving hope even to those who have broken the law, because we were all once them. Hopefully this is encouraging to you. Hopefully it reminds you to think about your words and think about how you're using them. Be an encouragement to people. Have that be a focus of your daily routines, your kids, your spouses, your friends, people you're in church with, your coworkers. How can we encourage people with the truth? Not just encourage them and affirm them where they're at, but give them the truth of Christ everywhere that we go. If you think that's encouraging, please like, share, subscribe, send this out to somebody that you think would be encouraged by it, and we will see you in the next video.